Have you ever really thought about how a plant gets from one place to another? I mean, they can't just get up and walk, right? Well, today we're going to be detectives. We're going to uncover the incredible and sometimes secret journeys that plants take to find a new place to call home.
So let's start by painting a picture. This is a verse from an ancient story, and it's describing a massive banyan tree. Just imagine it. It's so full of life, it's practically its own little universe. You've got deer, birds, insects, all living together. It's this beautiful reminder of how one single plant can support an entire ecosystem. But it also brings up a pretty big question.
Exactly. I mean, think about it. If a tiny baby plant tries to sprout right underneath its giant parent, it's going to have a really tough time. It'd be stuck in the dark, fighting for every drop of water and every bit of food with its brothers and sisters. So, what's it supposed to do?
Well, this brings us to a plant's #1 problem. It has to move out. Staying home right under the parent plant is just not a good strategy. It's a constant battle for survival, and honestly, it's a battle most little seedlings just can't win.
So nature came up with this brilliant solution. It's called seed dispersal, and it's exactly what it sounds like, the movement of seeds away from the parent plant. This isn't just a casual trip, you know. This is a critical mission for the survival of the species. The whole point is to find a brand new home with plenty of space, all the right nutrients, and lots of sunshine to grow big and strong. But plants can't exactly pack a bag and hop on a bus. So how in the world do they pull off these amazing journeys? Well, it turns out they have some incredibly clever tricks up their sleeves. So let's pull back the curtain and uncover their secrets.
All right, first up, some plants use what I like to call nature's own travel service, the wind and the water. These are incredibly powerful forces, right? And plants have evolved some amazing ways to basically hitch a free ride.
Okay, just think about a dandelion. You know when you see one of those fluffy white heads and you just have to blow on it? Well, you're actually helping it out. You're a part of its seed dispersal plan. Each one of those little fluff balls is a seed that has its own personal parachute, perfectly designed to be super lightweight and just catch the wind. Some other seeds have these tiny, wing-like structures that help them spin and glide, sometimes for miles. What's so cool is that the design of the seed perfectly matches how it travels. So for the wind, seeds have to be super light, kind of like that dandelion parachute. But for traveling by water, you need a totally different design. You have to be buoyant, you have to be able to float. And the coconut is the perfect example of this. It's basically a natural little boat. It has this tough, waterproof shell that lets it float on ocean currents for weeks, even months, before it finally washes up on a new beach to start growing. But what happens if a plant's seeds are too heavy for the wind, and maybe there's no river or ocean nearby? Well, then it's time to make some friends. A lot of plants have formed these really clever partnerships with animals to get their seeds where they need to go.
Now, there are two main ways that animals become a kind of seed taxi service. The first way is, well, it's delicious. Plants will wrap their seeds in a sweet, tasty fruit. So an animal, let's say a fruit bat, comes along and eats a mango. It then flies off and, later on, drops the seeds somewhere completely new. The second way is a little sneakier. Some seeds are covered in these tiny hooks or spines, like the burrs from a burdock plant. They're literally designed to latch onto the fur of any animal that walks by, getting a free ride until they eventually fall off.
And this hitchhiking method is so genius, it actually inspired a super famous human invention. The story goes that back in 1941, an engineer named George de Mestral came home from a walk and his dog was just covered in these sticky burrs. But instead of just getting annoyed and pulling them off, he got curious. He put one under a microscope and saw that it was covered in thousands of tiny hooks. And that's what gave him the idea for a hook and loop fastener. You know what we call it today? Velcro. All from a plant's clever trick. Okay, so plants can use wind, water, and even animals. But some plants don't want to rely on anyone else. Nope, they take matters into their own hands. Or maybe I should say into their own pots. And their solution is a lot more explosive.
That's right, some plants just do it themselves. They have these amazing built-in mechanisms that actually launch their seeds away with some serious force. It's like they have their own tiny natural catapults.
So plants like peas and beans, they grow their seeds inside a pod. As that pod hangs out in the sun, it starts to dry up and twist, and the tension just builds and builds and builds until, pop! The pod just bursts open, flinging the seeds out in every direction, far away from the parent plant. Talk about a great escape.
So far, this whole journey has been about seeds, seeds, seeds. But get this, some plants have a completely different secret weapon. They don't even need seeds to make new plants. It might sound like magic, but it's actually one of nature's absolute cleverest tricks. This whole process is called vegetative reproduction, and it is fascinating. It's basically a plant making a clone of itself. Just look at this table. The bryophyllum plant can grow brand new baby plants right from the edges of its leaves. Lots of plants use their stems. You know the eyes on a potato? Each one of those can sprout a whole new potato plant. And then you have others, like the sweet potato, that can grow a new plant directly from their roots. It's a completely different game plan for creating the next generation.
So here's my challenge to you. The next time you're outside, I want you to be a nature detective. When you see a lonely little weed growing on a crack in the pavement, or you see some of that dandelion fluff floating by on the breeze, just stop for a second and think about the incredible secret journey that it must have taken to get there. How did it travel? Who or what might have helped it along the way? The world of plants is just full of these amazing stories, and now you know how to read them.